Permanent magnet moving coil instrument.
A very good morning. Myself, Virendra Kumar Maurya, Associate Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Students, today I am going to discuss regarding
Permanent magnet moving coil instrument.
right. It's a very interesting topic of basic electrical engineering. Now see on the board.
Hello students. Today I am going to discuss electrical measuring instruments. There are so many instruments in electrical engineering, right? For the measurement of electrical quantities, like for the measurement of current, there is ammeter. For the measurement of voltage, there is voltmeter. For the measurement of power, there is wattmeter, and so many more. Now, here today, my topic is permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Right? This is an instrument made with the help of permanent magnets and moving coil. This instrument is the combination of permanent magnet and moving coil. First of all, see the arrangement of this instrument. Yes, this is the diagram of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. This portion is known as the scale. This one is the pointer. This one is the coil. This one is spindle. This one is spring. And these are the permanent magnets. And this one is the balance plate. Now see. These are the permanent magnets. This one is the north pole of the permanent magnet. This one is the south pole of the permanent magnet. Right? This one is coil made with the copper wire or aluminum wire, which is attached with the spindle. This one is the spring, right, which is also attached with the spindle, and this one is known as a pointer. See the pointer very carefully. Pointer is made with a light material, right? The weight of the pointer is very low. This one is known as the balance weight, right? The weight of this portion of the pointer is equal to the weight of this portion, so that pointer will free to rotate through the spindle and pointer will swing freely over the scale, right? This one is the scale, uniform scale. Okay, now L is the length of the coil and B is the breadth of the coil and N be the number of turns over here, number of turns in the coil. This one is the north pole, this one is the south pole, and this one is the gap in between the poles. So in this gap, due to these permanent magnets, there is flux density, right? And the cutting of this pole and this pole is in such a way that the strength of the field is maximum in this gap and making an angle of 90 degree with the coil. Once the current will pass through the coil and there are n number of turns in the coil, right? So according to the law, see here very carefully, these are the number of conductors, current carrying conductors placed in the magnetic field. So there will be a force on this coil at this arm in this direction and at this arm in the opposite direction, because here the current is moving upward but here current is moving downward. So this one is the force. This one is the force. This force is given by the strength of current and magnetic field. Whatever the flux density due to these magnets, there is flux density. So the strength of force is also dependent on the magnetic field. Next one is the length. Length of the conductor inside the magnetic field. This one is a very interesting point. See it very carefully. Whatever the length of the conductor, it has no meaning. But the length of the conductor inside the magnetic field is meaningful. So this length of the conductor inside the magnetic field is responsible for this force. F is proportional to L. That's why F is proportional to IBL. Now it is IBLN sin theta. Right? The proportionality constant is 1 and F is equal to IBLN sin theta. This force also dependent on the number of turns. Right? F is equal to IBLN sin theta. Here the theta is 90 degree. So the force is given by the formula F is equal to IBLN. Right? This is the magnetic force acting at this arm and at this arm. There is no force on this arm and this arm. Why it is so? Because here the angle is 0. Current is flowing in the direction of magnetic field. Current is flowing in the anti-direction of magnetic field. That's why there is no force. Now see about the torque. This one is the force. This one is another force. Right? This one is the perpendicular distance in between these two forces. So the torque is given by the force into perpendicular distance between the forces. Right? That is F into V. After putting the value of F over here, it becomes tau D is equal to I B L N into V. Right? Length into breadth. These two, length and breadth, it becomes area. So in the place of length and breadth, it is area. So tau D is equal to IBN into A. It is clear over here that deflecting torque is proportional to I. See, B is the flux density which is constant throughout the instrument. N is the number of turns which is also constant for the instrument, and A is the area. So the deflecting torque is proportional to I. Now see the controlling torque. This is the another torque which is given by the spring. Right? Due to the motion of this pointer on the scale, there is a twist in the spring. That torque is given by the theta. Controlling torque is proportional to theta. Theta is the angle made by the pointer from 0 position. Okay, at a steady state, these two torques are equal. Right? When the value of this current, say it is 4 ampere and pointer is also at 4 ampere, it is known as the steady state condition. At this particular condition, deflecting torque and controlling torques are equal. It means that I is proportional to theta. Right? Whatever the value of current, theta is the corresponding value of that. Now see the advantages of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. The first one is uniform scale. It's a very interesting and important point that the scale of this instrument is uniform. Second, eddy current damping. Right? 3 torques are necessary for the instrument. Number 1 is deflecting torque, controlling torque and damping torque. Here eddy current damping is used to avoid the vibrations of the pointer at the steady state position. Eddy current damping. Third one is high efficiency. Right? The efficiency of such instruments is high. Next one is the little power required to operate. It's a very interesting point. See the instrument. There is a need of a very little power to operate it. Right? No extra consumption of energy to operate the instrument. This is the beauty of this instrument. Next one is no hysteresis loss, right? Very accurate and reliable. Yes, such type of instruments are very reliable and accurate. Whatever the reading given by these instruments is very accurate, because if a small variation in the current or voltage is given, it means that it should be measurable. So it is very accurate. Now the disadvantages. First one is a more expensive. The cost of these instruments is high. These are more expensive. Second, cannot be used for the AC measurements. Yes, this one is a very big drawback, right? It is used only for DC measurement, not for the AC measurement. Next one is a fatigue. Which component is responsible for the fatigue in a spring and permanent magnet? Right? The component is time, temperature. There are these two components which are responsible for the fatigue in a spring and permanent magnet. Now the applications. Such instruments are used for the measurement of direct current and voltage. Current and voltage in the case of DC. And it is also used as DC galvanometer. Now see the numerical in which following data is given. That is magnetic field, it is 0.2 Weber per meter square. Current which is flowing in the coil is 100 milliampere, and number of turns in the coil is 100. Area of the coil is 2 centimeter into 1.5 centimeter, right? Find out tau d, that is deflecting torque, right? So for the calculation of tau d is equal to BINA, right? This is the formula for the deflecting torque in the case of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Okay, now I'm going to put the data over here. B, it is 0.2 into current, that is 100 milliampere, so it is 100 into milli. Milli means 10 to the power minus 3, and number of turns, it is 100, and area, that is 2 into 1.5 in centimeters square. So we are going to multiply with 10 to the power minus 4, so that it is now in meter square. Now solve it. 0.2 into 2, it become 0.4 into 1.5, 4 into 15 divided by 100 into this 10 to the power 2 into 10 to the power 2, it is 10 to the power 4, which is cancelled out by this 10 to the power minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it is 15 for the 60 into 10 to the power minus 5, that is nothing but 6 into 10 to the power 4 minus 4 Newton meter, right? So flux density which is given to you 0.2 Weber per meter square, and the current in the coil is 100 milliampere, number of turns in the coil is 100, and this one is the dimension for the area of the coil. Find out the torque. there is a simple formula in the case of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Tau d is equal to BINA. After putting the data over here, the deflecting torque is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter. Now see the next question here. Control constant of a spring is given to you, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 Newton meter per degree, right? And deflecting torque is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter. Our task is find out the deflection made by the pointer on the scale, that is angular deflection, right? We are going to find out the angular deflection. At the steady state, when two torques, that is deflecting torque and controlling torque, are equal, at this position deflecting torque is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 and the controlling torque is control constant of the spring into angular displacement, that is nothing but 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 into theta. So theta is equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 divided by 6 into 10 to the power minus 6. It become 100. So the angular deflection is theta equal to 100 degree. Now see the question overall. Control constant of the spring, which is given to you, 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 Newton meter per degree, and the deflecting torque for the permanent magnet moving coil instrument, it is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter. Find out the angular deflection. So at the steady state, when these two torques are equal, deflecting torque is equal to controlling torque. Controlling torque is nothing but control constant of the spring into angular displacement, right? Now I'm going to put the data over here, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 is equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 into theta. After the calculation, theta is 100. So the angular deflection is 100 degree. Now see the question. This is a question based on permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Here area of coil is given to you, that is 3.5 centimeter into 1.5 centimeter. Okay, it is nothing but 3.5 into 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. After the calculation, it is 5.25 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Current in the coil is also given to you, it is 50 milliampere. So it is 50 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. Now the next one is the flux density is 0.18 Weber per meter square, and number of turns in the coil are 20. Now the first part, calculate deflecting torque tau d. What is the value of deflecting torque? Yes, we know the formula for the deflecting torque. that is NVIA. Now I'm going to put the data over here. Number of tons are 20. Flux density is 0.18. Current, that is 50 into 10 to the power minus 3. And the area of the core, it is 5.25 into 10 to the power minus 4. After the calculation, the value of the deflecting torque is given by 945 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton meter. This is the value of deflecting torque. This will be the first part. What is the first part? Find out the deflecting torque. Formula tau d is equal to NVIA. After the solution, it is 945 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton meter. Now see the second part. In the second part, find out the value of deflection, that is theta. For the calculation of theta, controlling torque tau c is equal to K into theta, where K is known as the spring constant, right? Spring is the element by which controlling torque is provided. The value of the spring constant is 8 into 10 to the power minus 7 into theta, right? And the value of tau d, it is 945 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton meter. At the steady state, tau d is equal to tau c. These two torques are equal. What is the value of tau d? It is 945 into 10 to the power minus 7, which is equal to the tau c, that is 8 into 10 to the power minus 7 into theta. That's why the value of the theta is equal to 945 divided by 8. It is 945 divided by 8. After the calculation, it is 118.12 degree. So the second part, that is the angular deflection. So the value of the angular deflection is 118.12 degree.